G-Unit in the building. The Beauty of Independence. Out right now. You took a different approach on it.
Yeah, I didn't even wait for the records to connect. I just wanted it out, so we put it out. Okay, we recorded 40 records, close to 40. Yeah. It's more pieces. Some records that don't have everybody's vocals on them. When you're in the studio and you have fun making music, then you can kind of. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to feel good while you actually making music, man. It's when it's organic and when everybody's sitting there going like everybody's in a hurry. Because as soon as the production comes up and the chorus idea comes out, they'll go, let me get mine on. Run to get the verse in there first because you don't have to be on all the records. It's
right.
Enough of us for us to leave somebody off the records all the time. Like the Digital Scale record, Banks ain't even on the joint, so we can shoot the video while he overseas.
Banks was supposed to be here.
Yeah, he had to go to Budapest.
I feel slighted. I feel like you guys came down the pike and, you know.
Listen, man, we don't really cool with them light-skinned brothers anyway. Anybody you can see your tattoos at night, we ain't cool.
People always say, why do dark-skinned people get tattoos?
Right.
Is that,
I mean, it's mental. We just need to know something was there. We went through the process to, you know, we felt it with the needle touch. We know what we were intended.
Kid, what's up? What's up, homie?
What's good with it, man? What's down with it?
So you are the official new member of the, of the G-Unit. I know 50 brought you on board a while ago. 50, and I'm kind of asking both of you guys a question. What made Kid stick out from anybody for you to time?
I saw Kid on a record. The first time I took note of him was he was on a record that I did with Freeway. You Better Walk. That was a hit that missed because system. Def Jam and then Jay didn't want to overextend himself or go to lengths that I would go to support the project. But Free it was one of the humble character out of Rockefeller.
Right.
The humble guy, so he wouldn't, he don't cross nobody. Like, to this day, if he called me, I'll work with him. Because he just kept himself, he's respectable all the way across the board. Like, if a guy presents himself as he's the real deal, and then you see him and you be like, nah, it's consistency within his character all the way across, then I have a value for that. I look at it and say he's a good person.
Shout out to Free, man.
When we got to, I heard the record for the first time. He played it with Kid rapping on it, and it was like a mixtape coming soon. And I was like, who is this? Like, because it was like featuring 50 Cent coming soon. And I'm like, yo, and I'm looking, I'm going, oh. See, Sha Money had the production from when I actually recorded it for Freeway. Mm-hmm. So he took it and
he gave it to me. He gave me the beat, and they had Fifth on there. You know, I'm bucked up. I'm like, man, they got 50 on here. Oh man, it's about to go down.
But I was like, yo, he can rap though. Like, so who is this? And I'm like, I took note of it. Then I told him to come over because I was in New Orleans shooting a movie, and I was like, yo, where you at? You from down here, right? I'm in New Orleans, and he's in Queens. How crazy is that?
Yeah, I was up in Queens.
So he came back to New Orleans. When he came back, I got a chance to vibe with him a little bit, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. And then I remember one time I went to a nightclub out there.
Oh man, it was crazy. And I ain't gonna lie, right then and there, that's when I gained all respect for Fifth because he respected my aura that I had around me at that time. Because around that time, it was just so crazy out there. You know, I was into so much other stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was really in Queens. Come back, I meet Fifth. I come around, you know, I got my people with me, you know, we strapped up, we heavy.
They strapped is different from New York strap. Like, our strapped is like handguns. They strapped is like, they got a curve on it, kid.
Yeah,
like, they got.
We come through choppered up, man, for real.
And I'm like, where y'all going with that?
I met Fifth, and that was the thing, like, I've been around, like, real talk though, Kelly, I've been around a lot of rap dudes and stuff, and when you come around like that, it's like, oh, man, nah, there they go. Like, you know, we can't have this around us like this. You feel me? And for Fifth to accept that, I was like, oh yeah, man, he really with it.
That Ninth Ward, like once you get to a certain area, it's a zone, man. Like it's a war zone.
So many different stories about New Orleans and the different wars that you say. Like crazy stories.
It's different. Like it's different.
A different world.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man.
They got like a 24-hour. They'll hold you for 24 hours for the murder charge.
You could bail out on any charge.
You could bail out on the murder charge after 24 hours.
It's nothing, you know what I mean? For real, life is worth nothing down there. As soon as I met Fifth, I took him to the club, you know what I mean? Because I was throwing a little party. I'm messing with you, man, I'm gonna come through. So, you know, I'm like, nah, he probably ain't gonna come. Man, I got the call, like, yo, I'm coming. I'm like, oh, man, it's going down. Like, I always hear Yayo say, like, man, nobody never had to hold 50 down. He always had his own strap. And sure enough, when we was out there in No, he said, I'm coming through. Bring me a strap.
Like this cannon here.
I gotta give him something I gave him something that he probably couldn't really walk with. But I guess, and he held himself down, straight up and down, and he came out, man, and that was the best moment of my life, period. And it was a historic moment in New Orleans, period.
Then I left. I felt like I should have just took him with me. Then I get the call, he got shot.
He took me straight from the hospital, man, to on the road.
Yeah, I got him. Look, the
Straight
first
from the
he
hospital.
went
I only
from.
went to therapy once.
We got him out the hospital and took him to Atlanta. He didn't even have clothes. I said, we'll get the clothes when we get there.
Yeah, you know, that was my first time really experiencing some rich stuff right there. Yeah. Real talk, cause he's just like, yo, what you doing today? I'm like, trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? We flying to Atlanta today.
Expectation of Kid.
Well, I think he'll pull out into the front. I think it goes in this order, actually. I think it goes from the hungriest when they ain't actually had that bite to eat yet. The Buck, they've been going the longest to Ye, and then Banks will be back in his spot because of his writing ability and everything else. That's what he wants to do. He's an artist. He doesn't want to do everything else, but he got to understand, Kev, as times change, you have to change with the times. Like, you have to make the adjustments. Like, now social networking is important. You got to have some sort of activity there. Like he don't want to do anything, Kev. Like, you don't want to take the pictures for his Instagram. All right, it's cool, but you have to do this part. If not, then you put a person with you that is just focused on doing that part for you.
Yo, man, come up, show me right back. It's 9-9.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise.
iHeartRadio, East Coast Cat, 50 Cent, G-Unit in the building. So are we going to do separate G-Unit albums? Solo?
Yeah, solo album. They do their solo albums right after, and we still got to get the G-Unit album out. The EPs are to get everyone to get G-Unit back in everyone's psyche, back in everyone's mind of that we're back in the actual game again. Because everybody's there. And let the 2 EPs drop, and then they'll have that to listen to and appreciate those ideas there. And they don't have the same pressure because it's 6 songs. It doesn't have to top Get Rich or Die Trying or any other records we consider a classic.
You've been quiet over there, Buck. You've been quiet.
I'm just laid back, man. You know, I'm embracing the moment. For me to get out here and have this second opportunity, the way I look at it, you know, it's either now or never. And I think we all looking at it from that perspective, you know. And honestly, I think the separation that came about with us made us stronger and tighter than ever.
Yeah, how many groups is in hip-hop? Hip-hop turned into one group that was recorded in Miami.
People would say they would consider Young Money a group.
That's a group?
But that's what people would consider. They would consider
that crew. It's a pack of solo artists. What other group is in hip-hop right now?
None.
That's it.
That's Slaughter.
Right, that would have been one of the things I picked out as an actual group. And I don't know, because the Slaughterhouse has the Slaughterhouse album. Do they do solos?
They did do solos. They did. Kid. So, last thing to you. Do you feel like you got big shoes to fill?
Always, man. You gotta think about it, man. I'm in the group with a lot of all the way established artists. You know, everybody in this group then already went platinum. You feel me? Everybody in this group already rich. You feel me? So I gotta work hard, and I gotta work hard. I gotta try to outwork them.
So if you think about it, like when they say, like they'll say broke when you go, you broke, like you broke. Right. Like it's different. Like broke and Bucks.
Because I had to deal with that a lot. You know, even when I was going through my little tax situation, it's Bucks broke and he ain't got. Let me tell you something, man. My broke is the average individual's rich.
That's like having $1 million.
Right. If I feel like I got $1 million, I'm broke.
It's not moving in and moving out as fast as you're accustomed to.
We were talking about Freeway a minute ago. Let's circle back a little bit.
Yeah.
One time you was entertaining a situation with Beanie Siegel.
Yeah.
He's out. Would you entertain that again?
Baze is like, he's one of those guys that he don't belong in the background. He belong in the front, man. Look, he know what he got to do as far as his discipline. The Beanie that they bought 1 million records from is a different Beanie. So you got to come back like that Beanie.
The beauty of independence in stores right now on iTunes. I can't say in stores, man. It's just everything is on
things
iTunes.
Is changing.
Yeah, things is definitely changing.
Yeah.
So when is the full album coming out?
Well, in October they could look forward to the Beast.
October's Powerhouse.
All right.
I didn't let you know.
I know. One thing at a time, Kev. Don't set me up on one thing. He's squeezing me. You see him squeezing me?
Putting out there. Don't go nowhere, man. 50 Cent, G-Unit's in the building. The whole unit's in the building outside of Banks. You know y'all got to work, right? I need some.
I'm not working. You don't never tell Jay-Z to work. I'm bigger than this.
No.
Big as a motherfucker.
Are you and Jay-Z friends? Are you guys?
Cool.
You guys play golf together?
No, I haven't played golf. It's not my thing, but we're cool. I have a problem.
Okay, let's make it short. Yo, man, come up, show me right back. It's 9-9.
My great
baby.
The Beauty of Independence out on iTunes right now. Make sure you go get it. Biff, I want to congratulate you on Power.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's doing great.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a Power junkie. I am. I'm a Power junkie. The way it ended was very interesting.
And it's going to be exciting because now I'm out of the jail.
Yeah, you're out of, when the last 2 episodes and then when you orchestrated everything, did you have anything to do with that writing of that part, or the person that produces the show, she?
Well, me and Courtney, we collaborate a lot. Like, she'll talk to me, and at points I can offer something and she goes, wow, say that again. Like, the way you said that was like crazy. And then she'll put it into the actual script. Like, either literally write it, what I said, or she'll take the mannerisms from each person. Like, you know, if you met the guys, the difference between people who say they don't give a and people who genuinely don't give. And it seems like when they don't, like, you know, that person that really doesn't care anymore, like, at all, it's harder for people to get their hands on him. Like, law enforcement just miss him all the time in the neighborhood when he genuinely doesn't care anymore. And you'll see it like, man, they just went right past him. He just did it. And he walked out. This is fixed, because any other time they grabbed the person and searched him on a humble and they got him. That person that day, just his energy is just allowing him to go ahead and continue to do it, because it's just by chance they missed every time. So I like to write those things in true scenarios to kind of inject that into the storylines and to make every person on the show feel like a real person. You know, even the mistakes of pillow talk. They've shared too much information to their significant other, and it'd be the reason why you start to have internal issues.
You created so much, I guess, traffic and interest in that show. I know you guys moved it to the next season. Why does it take, and I don't know.
So long to get it to come back.
Why does it take so long?
Like, all of these shows, Kev, are in the exact same cycle. It's just the audience isn't as engaged to the point that you feel like, now we got to wait how long? For the second, you know what I mean? Like, it's usually, and they don't catch on. Like, The Wire, we wasn't really on The Wire until like the third season. Entertainment shows us that it cycles. The aggressive energy was there with DMX. It cycled out of non-confrontational hit records and then came back with 50 Cent. Cycles out during the entire Young Money wave, and then it'll start to come back again. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just why those things happen in cycles. Like, people into it, then they're out of it, then they're into it, then they're out of it. Hollywood is already trained people to like The Godfather, Goodfellas, to like Casino. So when those films are no longer, when they're not creating a new version of it, provides a huge opportunity for The Sopranos to be a hit.
Well, look, I need some love on these bars, and I'm gonna tell you right now, we about to go in a second. You're gonna give me a 16. You know, I know you do. You're gonna give me a 16.
Kev, I'm writing my album.
I already know what Yayo gonna do. He gonna wild out. I already know what Buck's gonna do.
No, I want to show you my young blood.
Wait, you ain't let me get there. Kid, he got a lot to do. But you're going to give me a 16.
Kev, listen.
No, you're going to give me a 16.
I got things I got to do.
You're going to give me a 16.
Leave my man alone, man.
Why am I coming? Why did I come here? Why did I come here?
Yeah.
Why did I come here?
Come on, show. It's 9-9.
iHeartRadio music you should know. Featuring Mike.